Hello everybody. On today's video, we're going to talk about ET abductions. So this question comes from Fox Mama. She's one of our loyal subscribers and fans, and she always leaves comments below, and she brought up a good question, and it affects a lot of people out there, and a lot of people have concerns about ET abductions, and some people are personally affected and some people are concerned about it. So this was a great question, and we even have some other questions that go along with her question as well. But in this video, we're going to talk about the purpose, the reason for abductions, and see what kind of information comes through Tracie. And then the purpose of implants, and if there's any information about hybrids, half human, half aliens, and also if any of the abductions dealt with DNA upgrades or even changing our DNA. And so later on, we're going to find out if Tracie can channel any type of information that can come through and see what we get. But before we go any further, I would like to mention Dolores Cannon's book, Custodians. So in her book, and matter of fact, her video just popped up a couple of days ago, and it's talking about ET abductions, and pretty much she covered everything you need to know about ETs and the abductions, and I read some of it. I did not read all of it. As you can see, it's a pretty thick book.
She was good at making really thick books.
Oh yeah, and she wanted to provide a lot of information, but the information that comes through her books is just amazing. So, All right, Tracie, whenever you're ready.
Okay, let's go get them. We are here.
Hello, is this the Imperial Council?
This is the Imperial Council.
Hello, how you doing today?
What is it today? Yes, we have a different concept of time as you do, but we are doing well.
Okay, that's it. That's always going to be an interesting conversation. We had a question and it comes from a loyal fan of ours, and it dealt with ET abductions, and she was concerned with why the abductions and if any of the ETs changed the human DNA and the purpose of implants, if you had any type of information for that.
We do, and we want to start this off. We would like to start this off just a little differently today. We want to bring in the 7 rays of light for each of the beings that are witnessing this video as just a way to clear the energy and move out of any kind of fear, as we feel some people find this question frightening. And so we would like you to bring in, so to speak, the rainbow of colors into your auric field, and then move those colors out. Just move them into all of the aura and through the being. We want you to really bring in the violet or purple light right down the center, and then move that energy out and just feel yourself moving into a calm and peaceful place. Take in a nice deep breath, fill up those lungs, and allow for the 7 rays of light to come in and just soothe the energy. And a lot of you like to surround yourself with protection, and we invite you to do that at this time, just because, again, some people may find abduction or the word or the idea to be frightening. But we say to you, as we move into this subject, this is something that on some level has been agreed upon. And we know that some of you are very unhappy with that answer, that you would be agreeing to being violated in such a way with the physical being. And we say to you that not all abductions are like that. Not all abductions are like that. You have your own councils. You have your own group of beings who are watching over you and experiencing through your experiences. There are many, many layers to this. There are many layers to this. And so we say that not all of these abductions would be something to be fearful of, but thinking of them as more like a bridge to bring knowledge to other layers of this existence. In other words, you are sharing information through your feelings, through your experiences, through your ups and downs, through your physical pains, and through your thought forms. And when you take in those experiences into your vehicle, it is much like putting information into a computer system, and these other layers, these other beings, these other councils are able to access that information. And some feel violated by this because they are in that space of having no memory of these commitments and these agreements. And so as these other beings come through, it is the information that they seek. They do not mean any harm. Now, some of you have experienced a more physical kind of abduction, and we say to you that not all abductions, how do we even go into this? For those of you who have memories of being violated in any way, of having your body probed, I think is a word that might be used. These abductions, you have the right to say no. You have the right to say no. And if you are experiencing something like that, we encourage you to say no and to call on your highest vibrational councils to come in and help you. We cannot take away the experience that you already have had, but we do say to you that there is laws and they must abide by these laws. And if you say no and you set your boundaries and you call in your team to protect you from this, this should help resolve anything that you do not want to have happen, including if it is just the information that they seek, but you feel violated by that. If you say no to that, they have to stop. Those who are being physically taken off of this earth realm in their physical bodies, this is not something that is allowed. This is a violation of your body. It is a violation of your rights of being in a vehicle, in a body. These beings, when caught, are dealt with. This is not okay with any of the Federation. It is against the rules to do these invasive body probings. And we believe you had a DNA question with that as well.
Yes.
We would like you to please ask the DNA question in the way that you would like to ask it so we can bring in the answer for you.
For the DNA question, I think it comes out to a two-part type of question. The first part would be, has ET messed with our DNA, whether upgrading our DNA or changing our DNA? And then the other part is, what is the purpose for them changing the DNA and or upgrading the DNA if they're helping, or if they're just taking samples of DNA? That would be the other part.
We are looking for the one who wants to come in and answer. Okay, so what we would like to say to you is that there is a lot of science that goes into any biological being that is here. It is not just the human form, but there are many plants and animals in the trees, the water, the soil, that all of it is often sampled by other beings from other planets. Yes, the DNA is very important. We do find that there are a lot of different species out there that are interested in what would happen if they mix their DNA with the human DNA. And there are experiments going on at all times. The fact that you are here in a human form is its own experiment. The fact that you look the way you do is its own experiment. And so this has never stopped. It has always been happening. And the future, the past, the other planets in the galaxies, within the galaxies, within the galaxies. This is always happening. It is part of the evolution. It is part of the evolution to splice the DNA, the cellular structures of the beings to create new. We are always creating new. And this is something that we are looking for the right words for this, as this is something that requires permission. This is something that if you are experiencing this, it may be good for you to go into a space of asking, did I have an agreement to do this? Because we do understand that when you are in the human experience, you do not remember the agreements you made before coming in. We do understand this, and we do understand that there are also contracts of sharing information, sharing DNA, sharing blood types and samples and different things like that. It is very, very broad spectrum of things that are going on here. Everything everywhere is always an experiment. As you see, we are always looking for new ways to do things, just like your own people are experimenting on the little animals in the labs to make sure products are safe and that there are no reactions. People in your own species are playing with DNA and playing with cloning and creating and biotechnology of all sorts. So we say to you that this is happening among you just as much as it is happening outside of the planet. And it is good to be aware and to have the knowledge and to educate yourself in this area. And if you are listening and you feel as if you have had one of these experiences, we say to you to, again, if this is not something you want, ask to terminate that contract. As we have gone through time and space and doing these different experiments with many who are among you, we have learned much about the human experience, about the broad spectrum of emotions, about the body and its ability to heal, or the body and its ability to manifest and create illness or symptoms of all sorts. There is lots and lots to be learned, and lots that we have done in the learning of the DNA and the learning of the human structure to bring in longevity, to bring in healing, to bring in new information, not just for ourselves, but for your own civilization as well. And we do share this information. This information is put out into the telepathically put out into the minds and put out into the, I believe you call it the collective grid, as you would say, so that the information is there for all to receive. So again, we have said this before, we have asked you to tap into the collective grid and ask for those pieces of information that you would like to have, for those manifestations you would like to create. The information is in the grid. You just need to pull from that source to find your direction, find your next step. It is there for your healing. It is there for your health. It is there for your longevity, for your youthfulness, for your energy. It is all there. And it is there because of the experiments. It is there because of the sharing of knowledge and of information, either biological or emotional or mental. So we say to you again, if this is something that you are now in a physical body having a disagreement with, we do not want to be part of this experiment in this level, then please go within, connect with your group, with your council, and ask them to terminate the contract in that way.
Thank you for that information. Yeah, that will help out quite a few individuals that are experiencing that to renegotiate their contract. Experimenting with the DNA, is that to upgrade the human body, or is that just, in other words, is it beneficial or is it negative?
That is a good question. For some species, to mix the DNA of the human with the species has been, as you might have said, negative. it has not worked out. It is, there has been some downsides to it as we mix with other species that are within the galaxies or the Federation. There are a lot of different DNAs that have been spliced together to come up with a physical form that is capable of doing even more than anything we know of to be done today. And yes, we are working on that for the human experience. We're working on that for the longevity, for the durability, for the capability of mind expansion, for the ability to take the physical body, which offers an entirely different experience for a soul, but take the physical body and give it the advanced performance of possibly a light body, but in a physical body. This would be a beautiful thing, to be able to take a physical body and be able to experience the experiences through physical, and then be able to transform physical into non-physical and be able to experience that as well. There are many things that we are working on in this way, and there are many things that can happen with the structure and DNA of the cellular body, so that as you raise your vibration, it brings the vibration of the physical tissue up as well, and it makes it so that there is much more you can do with the physical body. The physical body as we know it in the 3D world is not capable of raising the vibrational levels as high as what we are working on achieving at this time. We have talked many times about the fifth dimensional reality, or the new earth, and raising that vibration. Well, as you are experiencing a 3D vibration and you are moving your vibration up to that 5D vibration, you have already experienced many physical symptoms going through those stages of learning to raise that vibration and hold that vibration. Lots of things needed to be purged out, physical things, emotional things. We are working on a cellular structure that we can blend with the physical body that you are currently in, that frequencies that we can move into your physical structure as it is today to raise that vibration, to bring that vibration into a place where when you reach that fifth dimensional reality, and some of you have already experienced this, many of you have already experienced being in the physical of the 5D and then moving back and forth. And sometimes that can have its toll on the body. But as we bring you into a full-time fifth dimensional reality, well, then what? Then what, we say? Because as you just witnessed 3D to 5D, you're moving that energy back and forth. Well, now you're 5D. What are you going to want to do? You're going to want to raise that vibration again, are you not?
Yeah.
So we want to keep moving with this advancement so that when you reach that fifth dimension, you will be able to be ready for the next level of information to work with the physical body and move it into yet another vibration. And what can we do with it when it's there? And what can we do with it when it's there? And we have talked many times about what the body will be able to do and what the mind will be able to do. And teleportation, telepathy, levitation, all kinds of different things that the body will be able to do when we can restructure that DNA. And those are the things you are experiencing with the frequency updates, with the downloads that come in, with the new codes that are coming in for you. And as we spoke before, this changes one's appetite. It changes one's ability to navigate through the world. The information that comes in is different. You view things differently. These all are happening through what we learn with the DNA that we are collecting, with the emotional information we are collecting, with the spiritual and the mind and the knowledge. All the information that we collect through your experiences is all going towards the greater good. And for that, we do say thank you. As we know, even though you did come in with these agreements, we do understand that you do not have the conscious recollection of those agreements, and that this can be a very difficult time and a very scary time if you do not understand it and what is going on. Did that help?
Yes, it helped quite a bit. And you also answered my next question, if these experiments with the DNA or changing the DNA, is that to help us with the 5D experience and to raise our vibration? So that answered one of the questions as well. Is this still the Imperial Council, or is this another group?
This is a federation group that has a mix of different councils with it. Ones that you may know or understand would be the Palladians, the Ashtar, the this one's not familiar with this one, the Sumerians, and the Octurians, the crystalline Octurians. There are many levels, different levels, and different groups within the groups, if that makes sense. And so there are many that are here, and I am the spokesperson, which I am the Imperial again. We are speaking through.
Okay. Yeah, it must be a very important topic. It seems the whole crew's coming through.
Yes. We really enjoy getting the information to you as much as you enjoy receiving it.
Yes, yes. And plus, it does help out a lot of individuals as well. How long has the experiments been going on? Is this more recent with the experiments, like the past 100 years, or has these experiments been going on for as long as humans has been on the planet Earth, or
that one?
Well beyond.
And beyond, yes. There has been other planets with experiments just like this one. There is, it is a beautiful thing to be able to be part of the creation of these, we do not like to call them experiments, but that is what they have been called among your people. But with experiments, with these evolutionary projects, it is helping everyone. It is helping everyone to evolve and to collect information and to have bigger, better experiences. And this has happened on other planets as well as this one. You are familiar with biblical stories of, say, Noah's Ark, where the population has been wiped out and then started over again. And these things have happened. These have happened many times throughout the cycles of the Earth planet. Civilizations like Atlantis, like Lemuria, and the ones that you are familiar with, but there have been others before that, and before that, and before that. And it goes way beyond your spectrum of time and understanding. But we have done, and I say we, I mean the collective of beings that are working at these planets, these experiences. And why do we do that? Why would we want to create a planet of duality, a planet of, as we have mentioned before, these large, expansive feelings where the spectrum is severe on both sides? And what are we trying to create with that? And we say to you that we are not always in these bodies that we are speaking to you from either, and that we leave these bodies and go and have other experiences. And we are creating, here's a better word for it, we are creating a playground for all of us to come in and experience. And then when we leave these playgrounds, we come back into these other more aware states, and then we create more playground. And what would be fun to add to this playground? Maybe thinking of it that way, only these are very expansive thoughts, and these are very creative lives that you are living. And we enjoy that you are connecting with us now, as those who are connecting are really starting to figure out that this really is a very unique experience to be in a human form, to have a physical body, to be able to experience love and anger and everything in between. And it is a very dynamic thing to be where you are right now, going through this phase of the evolution, this phase of the awakening and the enlightenment, of moving the physical body to yet another phase of its existence, to move the physical earth into another phase of the existence. It is a very fun time for all of us to be witness of this. And we do say to you to remember You are the creator of the reality. As a collective, you can create something even more magnificent than as the individual. Find your group, find your collective, create, and believe for that outcome. Believe for the magic, believe for the unbelievable. It's there and it is possible.
Thank you. You almost answered one of my other questions as well. Is the purpose for the creations and evolving, is it to create a supreme being, like a special supreme human being, or is it just to see what it can be created and try to make it better, or just to create different type of beings?
You are already a supreme being. It is to
That'll make a lot of people feel better.
Yes, there is already so much perfection within the being that you are. We are working at creating. There's been a lot of damage over the years, as we might say, where there's belief for illness. There has been suppression. The suppression is being released, so to speak, bringing you out of the depths of the pressure of a third dimension and out of the pressures of being controlled and being, we don't like this word, but we will use it because this is the one she is throwing at us, manipulated. You are manipulated and controlled in certain ways, and we are here to help bring the enlightenment back into the consciousness, in the conscious state versus the subconscious state. When you go into the deep meditation, you can find the enlightenment. Those of you who like to experiment with different drugs, so to speak, you bring yourself into an altered state of consciousness. We want to bring the altered state to you in the conscious state. This is part of why we keep working with you. We want to bring you out of the suppression and into the freedom. Bring you into the place of knowing that it can be different, and that it can be more freeing, and that it can be amazing and beautiful and magical. And as we bring your mind there, how wonderful is it to bring the body with you, to bring the physical being into a most spiritual place, and have the physical being be able to withstand the new elements of this. And that is what the experiments are for. It is not to create, so to speak, a perfect entity, but it is to create many perfect entities, all of you. Bring everybody into this space. It is not like a lot of these movies that go out. It is not the super soldier. We are not creating a super soldier. We are creating an experience that we all hope to have as well as we move into the dynamics and diversity of the experience of Earth. The beautiful, beautiful scenery, the beautiful plants and life that exist in Earth do not always exist everywhere. It is like when you go to your theme parks and you have to stand in line to get on that ride. There are many standing in line to get on this ride. You did not know that, but many are here for the experience. And as we keep increasing and making this experience even better, there will be even more creations like this for everybody to get on that ride without their long lines, as we say. So we hope we answered that question. This is a very wonderful experience to be in, and there are a lot of you that may not agree with that, but again, we ask you to create your own reality. You are a co-creator in this reality. You get to choose the emotions. And yes, we know that some struggle with this, and we implore you to please put it out there. You are happy, joyful beings. You are kind and wonderful, and you are experiencing a world that supports you. You are experiencing a universe that supports you. And when you start stepping into that energy and creating it every day and believing for it, it will happen.
Interesting. Thank you. It, in a way, kind of makes sense to make the current life experience on Earth better. So when other beings want to experience the Earth human experience, they'll have, I guess you could say, a better experience, an
Yes.
easier experience.
It is one thing we would like to remind all of you that you have not always been human. You have been the other beings,
Mm-hmm.
the other ones that are watching and enjoying this experience with you, through you. And that is why there is the agreement. That is why there is the contract, because your soul families exist on many different realities, many different realms, and you are sharing these experiences. So just remember, you have not always been human. You have been many things. Mm-hmm.
Thank you. And that information alone will help out a lot of people with that information to open their minds to that concept.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing is, from one of our viewers, she had a question of what is implants and what is the purpose of implants?
There are many different types of implants, so to speak. Some of them have been self-imposed. You have asked for them to suppress things for you. Many of you are highly sensitive beings, and you would not have been able to handle the stimulation of the planet that you are in, the chaos, the static, so to speak. The energy is like crazy. And so you have asked for the implants to tone that down. Those are the ones you want to keep. There are some that you have in place that you do want to keep. And we ask you, if you ever go and ask for implants to be removed, and we have seen this happen, where beings are like, oh my gosh, there are implants, I need those gone. Now you got overload. And we ask you to be very careful and to ask the high self, ask your soul, is this placed here in my highest good before you go removing things? Because you may find that it opens you up to stimulation that is really difficult in the human experience to take in. That being said, there are also some there that are no longer serving you. There will be implants that are blocking you from your own abilities, and it is okay to remove those if you feel that you would like to step into more of the gifts and abilities of the intuitive work, of the empathic work. Always check in with your high self for the yes or the no on the implants. They have been put there to serve you. Now, we do understand that there is a group among you that is of lower vibration and would like to put energetic implants upon you that keep you subservient. And we do ask that you, or suggest that you could ask your counsels, your helpers, to identify those with you and to remove them, and to do it in a safe and peaceful manner. There are several of you listening right now that this would apply to, so we just ask you to go into a quiet place for yourself, like a meditation, connect with your counsels, and ask for them to be removed. There are a couple of you that get headaches back here in the back of the head, and those would be the ones that I would ask for the implant that is back here. If it is in the highest and best good, please remove these implants. Please remove what is causing the headache, because that is blocking your access point for your own information, so to speak, to come in, for you to keep your connection with the source energy. You can still create that connection, but this is where your downloads come in. This is where your new upgrades come in. And so we ask that if you find yourself feeling a pressure back here or a headache of any sort, and it is a consistent thing that happens to you, then we ask that you might look into working with your councils to remove those implants. Let's see if there is anyone else we want to address. This may sound funny. We are going to actually say a name. Aaron, you have a throat implant. It is keeping you from speaking in your light language. Please remove that. It is your heart's desire to use the light language through whatever form you choose to do it, but it is in a spoken or in song, and it wants to come out. And you, at some point, this is a voluntary implant that was placed there, but it is time for you to release that and step into who you truly are. Let us begin here for a moment. There are a couple of you that have an implant among the third eye. It is not stopping your third eye from vision, but it is creating a blurred vision, so to speak. It is hindering you. And so that might be another one. If you feel that that is happening for you at all, just call in again, call in your counsels to come in and help you with the removal of those. Remember, you have free will and they cannot do it for you unless you ask. Well, we could probably do this all day. Clear your ears. Everyone, clear your ears. You are getting messages. Your angels are so excited to be talking to you. Oh my goodness, the excitement of the angels right now. They are so excited for all of you who are listening to this that could get the message to invite them in. Invite them in and then listen. Follow your feelings, follow your intuition, follow the thoughts that are popping in your head that are the positive thoughts, we will say. We're able to clarify that. The positive thoughts that are popping into your head that may be surprising you, the inspirations, the positive things, the guidance, and just start allowing for more of that. Ask your angels to communicate with you, and that gives them permission, and then they can start doing that.
Interesting.
And there are a few of you out there that have been thinking about stepping into doing energy work, moving energy with hands. I know that we have spoken of creating with the energy the last time. We had spoken about staying more present in the moment and using the energy. And if you are looking at a class, this is your sign. We are saying, yes, do this. This is your sign to you to say, go do it.
You talking about the energy balls?
Yes, when we were playing with the
energy circles.
Yes, and there are several that are contemplating, should I move forward and take a class? And we want you to move forward and take that class. We want you to bring in the information, bring in the, some of you like the structure of these energy classes and the work, and there will be new information and new codes or frequencies that will come in through these classes that will help wake you up to remembering how to use this. So please move forward with that. And that goes for any guidance that you have been receiving about moving forward into what is my path? What is my path? We were talking about that before. What is my path? And move into that thing that is calling at you. And you may find that there's 5 things calling at you, and we say, yay, go do them all. Go do them all. Find ways and go do them. Did we answer your question, or did we go off in our own direction?
Just a little bit, but that's okay. It's worth it. So, but this would be a great question or an example. But you mentioned to call in your consoles, call in your angels for, whether it's the implants or for something else. But can you just give us an example of how to call in your consoles or how to call in your angels? Besides, you mentioned meditation, but like an example of what to do and how to go about doing it.
Yes. This one here started off with a simple prayer, and it was as simple as, God, please send me angels to guide me, protect me, and put me on my path. It is very simple. You just invite it in. Angels, please come and surround me, guide me, protect me. counsels, please come in, surround me, guide me, protect me. Something as simple as that. And all of a sudden you start getting this guidance and you start feeling yourself wanting and desiring to go different directions. If we were talking about the implants, I would call in source, I'd call in angels, I would call in counsels. Please come in on my highest and best and scan my body from top to bottom, scan my auric field from top to bottom. Please remove any energy implants, any physical implants, any fragmented energy within my auric field that is not serving me at this time. Remove it and bring in the healing that is needed at this time for any of those spaces that have been left behind, and bring this energy that has been removed to its highest and best good to be transmuted into something beautiful. Surround me with the love and the light and the guidance to bring me in the perfect and right direction for what I am here to do. How is that?
Very nice, very nice. I think you're going to have a lot of people listening to that part of the video quite a bit. You mentioned some of the implants that I guess you could say that are out of the best interest. What do? They block energy, or they block
you
upgrades?
Need to understand you are a multi-dimensional being. You are a high frequency. You are a absolute, and when I say you, I mean every one of you listening. Not just Jason, but yes, Jason. Okay. You are very bright, beautiful beings, and you are here from so many different levels of experience, so many different levels of ability. And when you came into this human experience, you came from a very high vibration. And those high vibrations, being the high vibrational being coming in for this physical experience, coming in for this human experience, you were not going to be able to experience humanity. You would not have been able to tolerate the third dimensional pressures, so to speak, the duality of the third dimension, if you were still that high vibrational being. So the implants were placed there to contain the high vibration, the high sensitivity levels you have to other people's energy. And yes, some of you are still very highly sensitive to those things. And we do understand that. And you came here for that experience because you have leveled up already, where maybe you have dulled it down and then you've gone through several human experiences, and now you're ready to expand that and be more empathic, be more sensitive to the energy so that you can acclimate to that, because you are part of what we need to know to bring the physical body into the fifth dimension so that we can keep raising that vibration of the physical body for the next experience and the next one. Know that you are one of the ones that was brave enough to volunteer and say, I will take a higher sensitivity level in this life so that we can learn from that and expand that knowledge in the collective on how to integrate those vibrations and function in the human existence. So bravo to everyone who has taken on the highly sensitive. And we are talking autism, we are talking ADHD, we are talking the bipolar experience, you know, all of these labels that have been given to it, the highly sensitive human being, the empath. There's so many labels you guys have for everything, but this is the experience that is happening, and you have taken on the experience for the expansion of the greater good. And a high bravo, thank you from everyone on this side of it. It is not an easy experience to take on, but the implants have been placed there for many so that the sensitivity and the static, as we were saying, does not move through in a way that is causing the physical and emotional and mental body to break down, if that makes sense.
Yes, it does.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So it sounds like these implants are a positive thing to help us than
yes.
hurt us.
And we are not to say that there are not the negative ones. We do understand that there has been some placed on some of the population that were not
the best interest.
In the best interest, yes, thank you. And that is why you would call in your team to help you clear that. You have the power.
In the future, let's say with the higher energy frequencies and we become more 5D, will the abductions part still happen for the ETs abducting humans? Would that still be necessary in the future, or?
We say this as the word abduction has a negative vibration to it.
Sorry.
As we move into the fifth dimension, yes, there will still be interaction with the physical body as the work to continue to advance the physical body will still continue. That is something that will happen. And keep this in mind when you are in the fifth dimension, you are now stepping into a higher awareness. You will be more aware of your voluntary service to bring the information
Mm-hmm.
to the ones who are needing it. Unlike in this third dimension reality where your memory has been wiped of the experience, but yet there is still the physical trauma, so to speak, or the cellular trauma to the body. There's a memory in there somewhere of something that has happened, and it is causing the physical reactions, so to speak, and the mental reactions. It will not be like that. It will not. And it will be in a higher level of consciousness, just like when you wake up from a dream and you can remember the dream and the details. It might feel a little bit like that, but you will have the memory, unlike the experiences now. And many of you leave your body at night and you go on these little excursions and you know that you've left your body and you come back, but you can't remember. This will all start to shift when you are entering the new realities. You will find yourself remembering more of your dreams, more of the experiences, more of the emotions as you come back into the body. And it'll be more like that with any interaction with the extraterrestrials, the beings that are interacting with you to further the evolution.
Thank you. I'm pretty sure that little part of the information will help out with a lot of people, because they're more concerned what's going to be in the future for them. Next question would be hybrids and that are half human and half alien. Is that being done? Is there half humans and half aliens on Earth, or is there half humans, half alien on other planets by any chance?
We are going to say to you that there's a lot of your audience listening that can identify with that, and we encourage that audience to comment below on their feelings of, are they a hybrid? Mm-hmm. There are many among you who have been, you say half. Half may be a bit strong. It is not that strong of an influence with the extraterrestrial DNA.
Okay.
Not yet. Not in the human experience. Not on this level. There are some that are in other places, other planets, other realities, spaceships, as you would call them, ships or existences. There are some that have that level of DNA mixture. But the ones that are among you, the ones that are living among you, they have a blend of the extraterrestrial DNA. And there are some who are remembering who they are now. There are some that are waking up to the idea that this is very possibly why they feel different, why they feel disconnected, why they long for a place that they feel is home, but they don't know where that place is. And there are many among you who identify with that blend of the extraterrestrial DNA. And this is part of moving that physical body into the next level of cellular structure to be able to embrace the other dimensions as the earth moves into those realities. Some of them have been here for a while and they have mixed their DNA in with the human DNA and have started another strand of human DNA among the strand that was already here. So there is much in the experience with the hybrids. There is a lot of, and in our head we can see many of you raising your hand going, they've either been a part of the experiment where, say, the sperm or the egg has been a donation towards this experiment, and then the children have been raised, so to speak, off planet and then brought in at a certain time and integrated into this reality. There is a lot of different ways that this is happening right now. Some have been, as you would call earlier, the abductions, and been implanted with the fetus that has the blend of the DNAs in it, and then got back into their human experience and bring the infant into the world just like you would any other baby. And so there are so many ways that this is taking place and so many ways that the integration is happening, but it is happening as it is necessary for the physical body to experience these upgrades in the cellular advancement. Did that answer the question okay?
Yes, it sure did. Thank you for that. Next question would be, do you happen to know like which alien groups the hybrids are mixed with? Is it just a mixture of different alien groups, or is it certain alien groups that's able to mix with human DNA?
The ones that you are experiencing here in this physical world would be the ones, they are being mixed with the extraterrestrial DNA of those who would mirror your image, mirror your appearance. And there are, might we say, all of the councils or federation, the galaxies, the different species out there, they have all played with the experiment of the human DNA with their own DNA, among their own people, among their own species and planets. And so it is, and it is not just the human DNA that this is happening with. There is much shared among all of the different councils, as this is, again, a big playground, so to speak. It is a, and you do it among yourselves as well. We do want to remind you that there is many experiments going on with splicing of DNA and creating new species, creating cloned versions of whatever animal or human, or even organ, so to speak. So this happens everywhere, and it is happening all over in the galaxy. Everyone that is part of this collective has probably played with this idea of bringing the human DNA into some form among their own species and planet. The ones you witness, though, the ones you see among yourselves are the ones that mirror you the most.
Would that be like the Palladians, the
You would have
Victorians?
Ashtar, this one's losing her thoughts on this, and we are not able to catch the name. The giants, as we call them, the large ones, Nordics. There it is. The Nordics, the Ashtar, the Palladians. There is some Arcturian DNA mixed in, and there is some of the Lyran DNA among you. There is Antarian DNA. There is that she does not know all the names of these, but this will give you a good idea. The blue avians, there are many. There are many that are close enough to your physical structure that they have mixed their DNA in with the human DNA. And the amount of DNA mixture is variable among the different groups. They are not all at the same level.
Interesting. So it sounds like it's a mixture of different alien groups, different consoles, different beings. So it sounds like we're just one big happy pot of gumbo.
That is so true. That is why we say you are all part of this. You have all been in other lifetimes as these beings, and now playing the part down here. And everyone takes turns playing the part down here to be the messenger of the information. Mm-hmm.
Thank you very much. I think we touched base on all the questions, and if you have anything for the YouTube collective on anything else, but I think we touched base on a lot of interesting subjects.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and we invite you again to bring in the light, bring in the 7 rays of light around you, bring it in, and just feel your energy moving into that place of feeling soft and protected. If there was any information that came in today that was startling for you, we ask that you please hand it over to your councils and to your collective. They are here to help you. They are here to move you into your ascension. And as always, we want you to look at everything with discernment. We want you to look at everything that is said on this video and other videos that you may watch. Only take the pieces that are feeling correct for you. This information may not be for everybody at this time. There's different levels of information that came in today. And if you are not ready to hear something, or if it does not fit for you, we ask you to trust that and to disregard and to just bring in the pieces and the parts for you that are feeling right and that are filling your soul, because that is the compass that will take you to the next thing for you and then the next. It is your guidance, and we ask you to always use that first. Follow your truth. Do not give your power away to anyone else. You have your own compass. And that would be our information for the collective that is watching today.
Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm. Okay, always with the watery eye when I'm done. And it's always the right side.
I mean, it's happening right now.
Yeah. So, all right, good information.
Absolutely.
So when they were talking about the hybrids, you know, there's always me in my head asking my own questions while I'm getting this information. And like I was seeing, like the, I believe it's the blue avians is the one that Corey Good talks about.
Yes.
I was sitting there going, how are you splicing bird DNA with human DNA and not having the feathers? And that's when they brought up not every splicing is of the same caliber. Like there might be a little bit.
Right.
And it would appear that there's even some DNA where they brought in a little bit of this spice and a little bit of that spice, and you know,
right.
So yeah, we're just all a big petri dish. But I did get the level of excitement from how, you know, it's a playground and how they look at it. Like, okay, it's my turn to get on that ride, you know. So that did kind of give me a little new level of enjoying the idea that, okay, yeah, we can make this fun. You know, there is the traumas and the dramas of the world, but we are creating our own realities at the same time with that. And so, you know, bring in the fun where you can bring in the fun. Go out and play. Go do the things you love to do and create a better reality. So, yeah. Anyway.
Interesting. Did they show you anything else or any other visions?
Remind me of the questions that you're asking.
They had the implants, DNA upgrades.
Yeah, most of the implants look like they're very energetical, like an energy. It wasn't like a physical thing, but when you're talking about the ones, say, that were abducted by the not as nice extraterrestrial beings, those might actually be a physical implant. Like, you know, if you got a microchip or something in your skin, there might be something that's actually, like, some people could be like, hey, I got this bump behind my ear now. And those could be a form of tracking or something. So if people are experiencing that, then that's a, you know, these beings are not a part of that, but they are aware of it and they are working at stopping any of that from happening.
Right.
Yeah. The stuff that they were talking about like the DNA and all of that, that seemed very non-invasive. So people that are experiencing the invasive stuff are experiencing something that is not supposed to be happening. And they are, that is something that I did get the impression that they are looking for that and stopping it. So as best they can.
Nice. Interesting. Yeah, it was pretty good. Actually, a lot of information came through. So
yeah, I love it when that happens. I never know when I go in. I'm like, okay, you have these questions. I hope I have answers. So very good. Yeah.
Perfect.
So if anybody wants to watch, or at this point, it would be listening in the archives. I'm on the what do we call it? The Metaphysical Hour with Julia Cannon later today, which will be in an archive for you later. So.
Nice, nice. And I would like to say thank you for the comments. And if you watching this video somewhere else on another channel, I do have agreements with other channels, and I try to read your comments on the other channels. But if you want to make sure your message is clear and I'm getting your comment or message, please make sure you go to either my channel or Tracie's channel. Mine is Jason Ballay at Quantum RE, and it's Tracie Mahan for her channel.
For my, yeah.
So, because what I do is I use my phone, and I get the comments through my phone.
Mm-hmm, I do too. Yeah.
And I can respond right away versus me trying to remember to go to one of the older videos from a month ago on someone else's channel. So just keep that in mind. But thank you. And thank you, Fox Mama 821, for your question. And I think this question is going to help out a lot of people that have concerns about this. So
yeah, that was a good one to bring up, because anytime ETs or extraterrestrial is brought up, that's one of the things people think about is abductions. And
yes,
and it's not to say it isn't happening, but the ones that are here to help are not going to be invasive, is my impression of that. They're going to work with you and do their best not to put any fear there. So
absolutely.
Very nice. Thank you, Jason, for the interview.
Not a problem.
For the work you do with this. And thank you, everyone that follows. We do appreciate you. Love it. And by the way, Jason does QHHT sessions. I do QHHT sessions. And I also do the Ascension sessions, which I can do on videos just like you're looking at today.
And also Tracie does tarot card readings. So I don't know if you knew that. But
if you come to my page, you will.
What'd you do? About every few days you do a reading?
I do one for the weekend, and then I do one for the week. So yeah, so I'll put one out. Usually I try to get one out Friday night for the weekend, and then by Monday for the week ahead. So just for fun. We just do it for fun.
Absolutely. And you do personal readings too.
I do.
For the tarot cards. So keep that in mind.
Yeah.
And yep. And I know there's some other questions out there, and we're trying to coordinate these other questions from other viewers as well with the next sessions and trying to combine them. So just keep that in mind. Just be a little patient. Try to squeeze them in some kind of way. So.
Yeah. Coordinating schedules and getting questions and doing all the work that we're doing otherwise when we're not doing this. So hang in there with us.
Absolutely.
Yep.
All right. Y'all take care.
Bye-bye.